everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a video on my favorite makeup brushes. I've been requested to do this for a while now, so I figured I'd sit down and do it today. So without any further ado, let's just jump into it. Okay, I can't do a brushes video without first mentioning my favorite makeup tool of life, which isn't a brush at all, but that is the Beauty Blender. You guys definitely know how much I love the Beauty Blender because I use it in like basically all of my videos. This is my favorite method of application for foundation, concealer, and powder. I just think that it melts all of them into the skin so nicely. It just gives like an extra boost of coverage to all foundations and concealers. It kind of just, it's just like the best for foundation, concealer, and powder. But I do have some brushes that I like to use for those things otherwise. Although I do love the Beauty Blender for foundation, that is my favorite way to put it on. There are some foundations that I feel apply better with a brush, and when I apply them with the brush, what I use is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I just think this is the best foundation brush I've tried thus far. I know everybody raves about the F80 from Sigma, but I haven't tried it yet, but this is working perfectly for me. It's nice and dense. It's a nice rounded shape. It really buffs the foundation into your skin and gives a nice airbrush finish, and I loves it. So once my foundation is on, my favorite powder brush is the Real Techniques powder brush. I just like this the best because it gets the job done quickly because it's so ginormous. I like to press in my powder into my face instead of like wiping it on, because that kind of wipes away any coverage that you put down. So I like this because you can just plunk it on your face and it does the job really quickly. And I don't know, it's just a really great brush. It's really huge, it's really fluffy, it's really soft, and it's my favorite powder brush. When I want to do a very light dusting of powder, what I use is this Kirkland finishing brush. This is from Costco. Every holiday season or so, they come out with brush collections. I don't know if any brush collections now would have this brush in it because it is really old, but it's basically just a standard large stippling brush. You can find these at MAC, from Sigma. Basically any brush line will carry something like this, and I like this for dusting on light applications of powder because it kind of just whisks it on there because of the duo fibers. It's like denser at the bottom and then like really loose at the top, so it kind of like it dusts on the powder and then you can really buff it in. Like I also like to use this to buff out any like blush and bronzer and like highlight. I like to use this to blend it all together so it looks nice and seamless. So for bronzing all over the face, not necessarily contouring but really just warming up the skin, my favorite brush to use is the Real Techniques blush brush. I've tried this for blush many times, but I just feel like it's too big for my face to get the blush application that I want, but I do really like it for warming up the whole face with just like a light dusting of bronzer. So I'll take this around the perimeters of my face, through my cheekbones, on my nose, like wherever you want your face to be warmed up, or just all over the face, you know. And I just feel like it's the perfect shape, it's the perfect density. It's not too dense to pack on too much coverage, but it's light enough. It's not too light where you're not getting enough payoff. It's like right in between, so you get the perfect amount of bronzer. And for contouring, my favorite brush for that is this Royal & Langnickel Complexion C185 brush. It's really nice because it's kind of like wide and flat this way, and then you turn it and it's more slim. So I like to use the slimmer side to really get in that nice contour line and make it nice and precise. And then I like to flip it and blend it out with the wider side. And this is just a really nice, like, it's kind of short, so it gives a nice, I don't know, it's just like the perfect density, the perfect shape. It's just an all-around great contouring brush because I don't like a super defined contour. I don't like it to be like one straight line, but I do like a pretty defined contour. So this is just perfect for the contour that I like. And for blush, my favorite blush brush is an angled blush brush with like white hairs. This is my favorite because it just applies blush so beautifully. It's the perfect shape, so it like really forms to your face, and then it's the perfect density where it packs on the color, but it also blends it out really nicely. I'm not too good at explaining like why brushes do well, but this one is definitely my favorite. This one is from crownbrush.com, which is my absolute favorite place to order brushes. Crown Brush is also on HauteLook a lot, so you can usually find it very cheap on there. And they're very reasonably priced to begin with, so getting a nice discount on them is just an added bonus because they're great quality brushes. And for highlighting, my favorite brush is this Royal & Langnickel Super Eye Fluff C448 brush. I like a very shimmery pigmented highlight, so I like this brush because it really packs on the pigmentation and also allows you to blend it out at the same time. I also feel like your cheekbones are kind of a small space, so you don't want something that's too big where your shimmer is going to be all over your face. You want something that's going to keep it there and also blend it out in that small space that you're working with. So that is why this is my favorite brush. I also like this brush to put powder under my eyes, like to set my concealer, to blend out any eyeshadows if I need some extra blending. This is just an all-around really great brush for many different uses. I almost always apply concealer with my beauty blender, but when I do use a brush, I use the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. This one is one of my favorites. This one is my favorite because it kind of packs on the coverage and then you can buff out the edges and make it look seamless all in the same brush. Like, it really packs on the coverage, but then it also buffs it out really nicely. And this thing is only $3, so that's just like the best added bonus ever. And I do like it for under the eyes. If I use, say, my erase paste, I like it for that because that is really thick and I feel like the Beauty Blender just wouldn't blend it out properly. So I like using that with this because it really just buffs it in. Okay, now we're going to move on to eye brushes. My absolute favorite kind of eyeshadow brush are these white-haired fluffy brushes. This one is from Coastal Scents and it is number 250. And this one is from a brush set I got a long time ago at IMATS New York from a company called Confidential Brushes. I looked them up online. Apparently they're not in business anymore, but basically every brush company has a type of brush like this, so that's not a problem to find a brush like that. I like these because they're kind of flat on one side and then also fluffy like at the top, so you can pack on some color and then blend it out with the same brush. I like this brush because you can basically do an entire eye look with one brush. Say you were in a pinch and could only pack one brush, or you're traveling or whatever. This is just an all-around amazing eye brush. Okay, and for shader brushes, I have two favorites. One is from that Confidential brush set I got at IMATS, but it's basically just a flat shader brush. It's kind of thin, so it's nice to just pack on the color, and you can use this wet or dry, which is why I like it. And then another one I have is from Eco Tools, which you can get at Rite Aid or basically like any drugstore, I believe. And this just came in a set I got a very long time ago, and it's been working wonders. It's like the perfect size for my eyelid, which is basically the only thing I need in a good shader brush, because flat shader brushes are the easiest to achieve, I think, because it's just got to be flat so you can pack on that color. So I really like the Eco Tools one because it's lasted me a very, very long time, and so have these Confidential brushes. And for some super like soft blending like shadow brushes, my favorites are this one from Sephora, which is the Pro Crease number 10. Yeah, this Pro Crease number 10. I like this one because it's nice and loose and doesn't have too many bristles in it, and it's nice and long. So you're going to be able to blend out something really nicely and make it as soft as possible because the hairs are so loose that it's really just going to like buff it out without taking away any pigmentation. Like, it's really just going to lightly feather it. There you go. And then another one that does kind of the same thing is this My Glam brush. It doesn't really have a name on it. I just got this in my glam bag a long time ago. And this basically just does the same thing. You guys know, like in all my tutorials, I usually go in with like a soft brown color throughout the whole crease with a brush like this because it just provides a really, really nice transition like shade in between your lid and your brow bone. It just really makes everything blend seamlessly when you put that first color down, and that's why I like this brush for that. I also like this for blending edges like between colors. If I put a crease color then a lid color and I want to blend them together, I'll use this kind of brush because it just does it really easily and quickly. Another one of my favorite brushes is this dual-ended brush I got in my Naked 2 palette from Urban Decay. I really like this because the fluffier side is kind of smaller than my other fluffy brush, so it's really nice to get a more defined crease. Like if you want, not a cut crease I would say, because I would use like a liner brush for that, but if you want more of a defined crease and you don't want it to be too blended, or you want to put one color in the crease and then another one to blend it out, this is nice because it's tapered and it'll get it more precise than a bigger fluffy brush. And then this other side is just a really nice small shader brush that's great for packing on any color on the lid or in the inner corner or whatever. It's just a good brush all around. And if you packed this one brush, this one dual-ended brush in your makeup bag, you'd probably be set for any look. My favorite brush for highlighting under the brow is probably this angled shader brush from Coastal Scents. This is the BRCN05. That is a really long name, but it's just like an angled, it's just like a loose natural haired shader brush, but it's got an angle to it, so it just gets up under that brow really nicely. And I also like this to put color on the outer corner, because I feel like bigger fluffy brushes, which is what most people use to put color on the outer corner, kind of puts too much color. Like if I want it to be kind of really towards the outer corner, not fade in too far into the lid, I'll pack it on right at the outer corner. It's a nice angle, so it gives you that angled shape at the end, and it's not pulling that color too far in. And then so I'll place the color with that and then blend it out with like a clean blending brush, which is what I also like to do this, what I can't speak. Oh. Which is what I also like to do with this brush. Another favorite brush is this pencil brush. This one is from Crown Brush, and it's the C431 Precision Pencil. And this, I mean, everybody needs a pencil brush. It's great for smoking things out under the eye, smoking out liner on top of the lid, maybe making a like precise cut crease. It's just a great brush for like many different purposes, and it's definitely a must-have in anybody's collection because a pencil brush comes in handy a lot. My favorite brush for putting color on my lower lash line is this small smudger brush. This one is from my Confidential brush kit also, but it's just a teeny tiny little shader brush, and I like it because I don't have much lid space like under my eye. I know a lot of people can smoke it down really far, but I think that kind of looks weird on me. So I like it because it's small. You can put the color right where you want it in that small space, and then I'll take like a pencil brush or like one of these white-haired brushes. I'll take one of these two brushes to buff it out. So I place the color with this and then buff it out with one of these brushes. So I really like that. Another favorite kind of brush are these flat definer brushes. This one is from Crown Brush, and it's the C432 flat definer brush, and this one is from e.l.f. and it's just a professional eyeliner brush. This one's like $1, and I like this for filling in my brows. I like it for putting a very precise line of eyeshadow under my eye. I can use it for, I've tried to use it for liner. I didn't like that as much as like an angled liner brush, but I do like this brush for a lot of different things. I like this e.l.f. one specifically for taking concealer around my brows because it's kind of a little more thick than this Crown Brush one. So I don't know, it just does a really great job at carving out your eyebrows. So I do like these flat definer brushes. They come in handy a lot. And also for filling in my brows, lately I've been using this short smudger brush. I've been using this to take the eyebrow powder and just fill in all the sparse areas, and then I'll take my eyebrow pencil and kind of define them with that on the outer edges. But this brush also comes in handy to smudge things out on the lower lash line, also in the inner corner, smudging eyeliner on the top lash line. This is just an all-around good brush. And now for eyeliner brushes, I have these two. I think they're both from My Glam. Yeah, they're both from My Glam. I think this one is, I have no clue what this brush is, but it's just a tiny, tiny little kind of eyeliner brush. I don't even know, but I like to use this for eyeliner. I mean, they both do the same exact thing. This one's just an angled liner brush, but I use them both for my gel liner because they kind of just do the same thing. The angled liner is a little easier because you could just flick it out and then fill it in. This one you kind of have to take more time. I like this one for like a thinner line of eyeliner, and this one for more of a winged eyeliner. And so that's all of my favorite brushes. As for spot cleaning in between, my favorite thing to use is this Perry & Spirit professional makeup brush cleaner. I got this at IMATS, and I think you can get it at like alcone.com or whatever, like maybe Ricky's or whatever professional makeup store you can go to, and it just comes in a little spritz, so I'll just spray my brush and then let it, sometimes I let it soak, sometimes I just do it right away and then wipe it off on a towel or a paper towel, and it takes it right off, and it smells like lemon, so my brushes smell delicious, and it's awesome. It really does the job. If you don't have time to deep clean your brush, it really gets all of that product out. Okay guys, so that's it for my favorite brush video. I will link all of the websites and companies that I mentioned in this video down below so that you can find these brushes and buy them too. Remember that Crown Brush is always on HauteLook, so you can usually find some of their products on sale. And then Confidential Brushes is no longer in business, so I might go on maybe Sigma or crownbrush.com and find like comparable dupes for it and list it down below. I will see, and I think that's it. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. They're both just SuperAshley127, just like this channel. I always tell people to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, but I don't really ever get new followers. At least on Twitter, I never get new followers. I have like less than 100. But follow me on those so we can stay connected. I usually upload like sneak peeks of upcoming looks or videos, or like talk to you guys. So follow me on those, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.